Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the GoldBricks Show. And this week, as promised, we have our guest all the way from Cape Town, South Africa, and that is the great brother of ours in Carrot Bar's international affiliate, who's leading the way on the South African continent, and that is Isaac Matias. And thank you, Isaac, and thank you for being here. And here's our co-host, as usual, is Dr. Sergio Rosell.
All right. Hello, everybody. Again, welcome to the GoldBricks Show. And we are absolutely thrilled that you decided to join us this week. There's been a lot happening in the world economy this week, and so we're going to get into that. And we're going to have with us a dynamic individual who is somebody that has a tremendous story. You're going to enjoy yourself if you're going to be able to get some questions answered as well, and just kind of follow this gentleman's story. Have so much respect for him. Mr. Matias is, again, out of South Africa, but I'm going to let you tell his story. I'm going to let him tell you his story in just a moment here. But he has built an international business all around the world. He's helping so many folks. We're talking tens of thousands of folks around the world. And he's a great guy who is really down to earth and is very humble. But he's a person who's very knowledgeable as well. And he's actually having a lot of success. And so it's with great pleasure that I can introduce to you a friend to many, an inspiration to most, the incomparable Mr. Isaac, incomparable. That's what I was looking for. The incomparable Mr. Isaac Matias. Can you hear us, sir?
I can hear you guys perfectly. I'm so excited. I'm trying to collect myself so I don't jump up and down, so we can get the mission, accomplished.
Excellent.
Thank you.
It's our pleasure. And what we're going to do today, guys, for all of you that are joining us on live on Facebook, make sure that you share this. You're going to want to call in today at 301-429-9247 because we're going to have a great conversation here. We're also going to be taking comments on Facebook. So if you see us look down on occasion here and there, understand that we're doing it because we're taking comments. But while we're not taking comments, we're going to be very much engaged with you and, of course, with our wonderful guest, Mr. Matias. So without further ado, Mr. Matias, please tell us a little bit about yourself, sir, and I'm going to try to see if we can get your picture, your image up here, okay?
All right. Well, like you guys already heard, my name is Isaac Matias, and I am originally from a country called Angola. If you Google it, you probably will never want to go there, but let me tell you something. The country has been in war for almost or nearly 40 years, civil war. And back in 2000, things happened, doors opened, and so I immigrated. I illegally immigrated to South Africa. Okay, and this is where I got a job, and I tried to do some of, try to finish off my studies. But you can never do that because you don't have your parents around, so you need to look out for yourself actually to survive. And so I'm married. Happily married, and the father to two boys, and I'm a proud Carrot Boy International affiliate. Man, this is the place that I think everybody has been looking for. This is a home that everybody has been looking for, and I feel so blessed that even tonight I have the privilege to be on this platform, to be with you guys and just share my story. So, yeah, this is it.
Hey, and Isaac, I have a question for you. I've seen you many times, and I'm impressed with how you tell me and how many of the other people in Africa and South Africa specifically are saying that Carrot Bars International and their involvement with it has changed their lives, has opened up great opportunity because, as we know, we're in 125 plus countries, and so you're not just limited to that geographical location, but you have affiliate partners all over the world. So how is it? And I've heard it from you, and I was very impressed and very much so very happy that it can impact lives in countries all over the world in the way that you describe that it has changed lives there. Could you just give us a little bit of that? And because I want our listeners to understand that it's not just for how it impacts lives here in America in dollars, because we all get paid in euros, of course, right? So, but it is how it impacts lives of people in countries that previously did not have the ability to access this great opportunity or anything like it.
Look, if you listen to the statement or to the corporate bit of Mr. Our CEO and founder of Carrot Bar, Mr. Harold, he says that it touches me or it moves me when I see somebody life has changed because of carrot bars. I might not be saying the right line, but that's actually what he was saying. I started to understand or to think that whoever thought about network marketing, he actually thought about Africa, because our currency in Africa is so low that if you can get into a system that will pay you in dollar or euros, you become the king of the jungle. Right now, I am probably, the last time I checked, I was short of 40 people to hit my 8,000 business partner in my team. And yes, because I speak Portuguese, I have business partner in Portugal, in Brazil. I actually have some business partner who are meeting me in Miami when I come to Miami next week on Wednesday. And this is a global business, and it's just give us, an opportunity for you really to be or to live your dreams. I think it was what's his name, Les Brown, who says that network marketing will take somebody from the village like myself, Isaac, and actually I'm really putting myself in that bracket, because I come from maybe the poorest country, from the poorest family, came to South Africa, got this this money system which we call carrot bars. It changed my life, and it's changing hundreds and thousands of people that I'm coming across with. And just to know that you are not limited, we are already in 127 countries, and we are going global, like in every single country. This is it. This is it. This is not for just part of somewhere in the world. This is a global business. This is for Americans. This is for Africa, Asian, everywhere across the world. They can tap into these graves and be successful and live their dreams. And I think it is not actually it's not difficult, if I may say so. I won't make it sound so easy, but it is not difficult at all. Because sometimes when people ask me what is the secret to your success, I simply tell them, look, I think I don't really give the credit to myself, but I give the credit to the system. We have the product, we have the money, which is gold. Who in this world do not want to own gold? By birth, we should have had gold already. Gold has been God's money from the beginning. So this is for everybody. And the CEO is a great visionary that is just bringing what we lost in the past back in the future, in the present and in the future. So this is a great opportunity for the whole world. And I'm just so excited.
Absolutely. You mentioned something. You said it's for the whole world, and so it's and I agree with you. So, but as we know, people from all over the world have all kind of challenges. We have challenges of being able to participate in something once we get the information. The toughest part is getting the information, as you said, right? But then when people get the information, we have life happening, and people can come up with so many reasons why they think they can't do something, right? So if you could share with us a little bit more about why it is where we are able to participate in this particular opportunity, as even after having challenges come our way. I mean, you told us a little bit about your story, but can you give us a little more detail about how you were able to participate and why anybody can, no matter what kind of challenges or struggles are coming their way?
Well, I think excuses. I think this is what somebody said, and I feel the cared for. I think it's Dr. Dennis. He says that we came in for the money, but we stayed for the education. We came in for the money, but we stayed for the education. This system has taught me so much that I am so glad that when I started, man, I was on zero. I was on I'm talking about money. I was on zero. Like tomorrow is end of the month. All the debit order need to go off, and I am here. My money does not equal to whatever I need to pay to whoever I owe. So that is again made me understand that somehow I had to take the sacrifice on part of what I did with my family and make sure that I put some money together and I acquire my business package. I started off, I think, initially I wanted to start off with a bronze until my sponsor said, Isaac, actually my brother Damas, he said, I'm going to give you some money so you can start off with a silver package. And so in my mind today, I started off with a bronze, which it took me, man, I had to sell almost everything. If you want a change in your life, you have to act upon it. And I think that's what people lack. They want to have the change, but they don't act. And if you don't act, you surely will be in the same place where you are today, tomorrow, and the day after that. My boys, the first one is 5 and the other one is 3. My firstborn, he never had a birthday party.
Oh, wow.
He never had a birthday party. Now I'm making money in categories that my son can have the best birthday party ever. His birthday is in January. I'm already telling my wife now, we need to start planning for my boy's birthday. So I could not give my children what they supposed to have when they were born. Why? Because daddy was taking some money off his birthday to make sure that daddy buy a silver package and daddy go to a gold package and daddy go to a VIP package, and daddy now started making so much money that daddy bought a VIP premium package, daddy bought a VIP for mommy, and now we have 3 MasterCard in our home that my boys can have almost anything they want.
Wait, let's make sure that people...
You need to act, because if you don't act, people have excuses for them actually to be poor. People don't see themselves moving. It scares people to be rich. And so when an opportunity such as this is given to them, they don't even feel worthy of driving that Lamborghini, of having that house where you come in, your child can almost go on a scooter and drive inside the house. They don't feel worthy. But for me, I told myself, I need to do something, or else I will end up like my grandparent, I will end up like my parent, and I will be forgotten the minute I'm dead. Mr. Delco tell us, do you know why you don't know your great-grandfather?
That's right.
We said, no. He said, it's because you don't know. It's because he left you nothing.
That's right.
I want to be remembered. I want to be remembered.
So the
challenges people, everybody have challenge. Whether you earn a lot of money, you have challenge. Whether you earn less, you still have challenge. So it's really up to you. What do you prioritize first? Society has taught us to first spend and spend and spend, and time when something like Kirkbank comes to us to invest 174 euros, you like, I don't have that money, because you have so many people to pay. You don't have anything, and that's why they say save up for raining days. Now we know that it's no longer about saving up for raining days. Now we are saving up for sunny days, meaning anybody who will throw a good, not a proposal, but a good investment, which I know that can be done, then I have $100,000 to say, hey, actually, I actually can invest in that. Now I can. So I have saved up for sunny days, while some people are still on the or saving up for raining days. We need to change the way we spend.
Absolutely. You know what? That is absolutely wonderful. You know, it's funny because, well, not funny, but it's interesting because this past week, as you know, the stock market crashed at 1,400 points. And for a lot of people, that was a rainy day. But for those that were in position, those like Mr. Ahmed, just like yourself and myself, it was still a sunny day for us. Would you agree?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And why is and it's interesting because people don't understand that when the market crashes, it impacts everyone around the entire world. And however, it impacts for some people in a very positive way, and in others in a negative way. Right. So that crash happened, and there's a reason why the very wealthy, they won anyway. It's because they put themselves in a position to get assets. They understood assets, and when this happened, it basically became a fire sale.
Right.
Opportunity opened up for folks like yourself and Mr. Ahmed to go in and start getting up all the stuff that was discounted as a result of the crash. Right. In fact, we talked about this morning on the power call that people actually position themselves. They know that we're going to have crashes. They ebb and flow. It's cyclical, right? And so what we know is that people actually prepare themselves for the sunny day that in some people's eyes, it's a rainy day.
Right. And hey, Isaac, you brought in, you touched on 2 points. And I'd just like to elaborate a little bit or go a little further. One of the things you touched on is that people make excuses. And that is one of the things that's global, apparently, because you are experiencing that. I'm experiencing that. And I'm sure every other affiliate out there who is actually active in trying to introduce this business to people are hearing excuses. And practically every one of those excuses is that's all it is. It's not a real reason that they can't get involved. It is an excuse not to get involved. The other thing that you mentioned is that do you know when is the last time you had a wealth transfer in your family? Do you know who your grandfather's name? Why you don't know him? Because he didn't leave you anything, right? And what I look, and just last night I was flipping the channel and I saw a show being advertised, one of the latest Star Treks. They just started this last year before, right? Now, in the closing credits, it always says Gene Roddenberry. So I looked up Gene Roddenberry. I said, who this guy? Is he still alive? His name is still there. He's still making money, leaving legacy of wealth.
That's right.
Right? And I looked, he died. He was born in 1921 and he died in 1991. He's dead a long time ago, right? But yet, every time when they make a new Star Trek,
his legacy.
His name is always there, right? And we know his name because he's constantly paying into a legacy of wealth based on what he did in his lifetime. And that's what we're talking about here. And that's the beauty of Karatbars International. It allows us, you, myself, and every other normal person around the world to have the ability to do just that, to leave a legacy of wealth rather than one of poverty. And as one of our brothers says, he wanted his picture hanging over the mantelpiece so that his great grandchildren will look up there and say, the condition we find ourselves in now, where we have all of this, is because of that one individual who 100 years, 150 years ago made a change and left us a legacy of wealth. And that is a tremendous thing that you're experiencing there, we're experiencing here, and every one of our viewers has the ability to experience. And every Karatbars affiliate who is not active right now, with all of what is going on, they need to become active and get over the excuses. And the people that they introduce this business to need to understand this is introducing you to an opportunity, to a great system of wealth. And many miss that message. But we're here to say that we're not going to give up on you. That we're not going to just say, well, on to yours. I got mine, and later for you. We're here to spread the word. We're here with them. I always refer to us as we're the 21st century Harriet Tubmans. And a beautiful statement that is attributed to Harriet Tubman, she used to say, apparently, as reported, she said, I freed 1,000 slaves. I could have freed 1,000 more had they only known that they were slaves. And so we're on that 21st century freedom train. We are the Underground Railroad that is here to help, to save, to deliver people from a legacy of debt into a legacy of wealth. Absolutely. And away from a legacy of letting their wealth that they accumulate, because it's not like we don't have wealth. And I always point out one of the numbers is that, we lose so much of our wealth because we allow it to be co-opted. But this is a system that allows us to take advantage of the wealth that we create and build wealth for ourselves and our family.
Go ahead. I can tell you were about to say something. Go right ahead, sir, Mr. Matias.
Well, look, I think at the end again, I started to understand that whenever there is, wealth transfer, it's what the Bible is saying. Please allow me to say that. And the Bible said that many are called, but the few are chosen. And that's the point that you said, my brother, that we should not give up on people, because people have seen the opportunity and they will reject it because of what they have heard and all that. I mean, I was speaking to somebody and I said, have you ever heard about Bitcoin? That lady told me, yes, I heard about it 5 years ago. I'm like, 5 years ago? And you are still driving this car? Imagine, had she just had that leap of faith, people, you gotta trust yourself in the end. That's the problem. People don't trust themselves. And I think that's why Mr. Tybes keep on saying, dream big and let nobody steal your dream. Because a lot of people would hear something, and because they know my grandparents were poor, my parents are poor, I am poor. Who says that I'm in that book where people are selected to be rich? And actually, there is no book that say that I should be rich and Dr. Rose should be poor. It's just us taking the action and say, man, I gotta change my life. And let me share this with you guys. I come from a home where we ate once a day, and I think I have spoken to you guys about this many times. I come from a home so poor that we ate once a day. And the other day I was hanging out here with my boys. The mother was not here. And my boy come to me and say, Daddy, I'm hungry. I'm like, hey, get into the refrigerator and see if you can get yourself something. He opened the refrigerator. He said, well, I don't know what to eat.
Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that wonderful? Praise God.
The thought came to my mind that you have to change the course of your life.
Yes.
You can do it. Now, I'm coming from a place where you don't see food in the house, and now my boy already, he will say, I'm coming from a house where food is in abundance. I lack nothing. I open the refrigerator, there is everything I need. I just don't know what to eat.
Wow.
I just don't know what to eat.
Just abundance.
Well, don't you think that you have to give your children the best that you did not have? I mean, I wish I had Jordan. I've never had Jordan. Even now I don't have one.
Sure.
I'm not used to it.
Sure.
But there are some boys of my age that when we were growing up, I mean, at the age of 10, they were already having Jordans on their feet.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I have now change the course of my generations to come.
Yes.
Guys, I don't say
That's right.
this bragging, but you guys are looking at a billionaire
That's
right
right.
now.
That's right. That's right.
I speak it into existence. I'm not talking about it in the future. I'm saying that you are looking at a billionaire. The brothers that you guys see on TV, on your screen, you guys are looking at the film. So you listen to us. Don't take action. The blame is on you. That's what Bill Gates say. If you were born poor, I was born poor. It was not my fault. But if I die poor, it will be my fault.
That's right. That's right, man.
Now my boy, he doesn't know what to eat because there's too much to eat.
It's too much. Too much to eat. Too much abundance. Overflowing. Overflowing. Your cup runneth over. Your cup runneth over. How about that?
Hey, Isaac, we're
How about that?
Yeah, that's wonderful. Listen, what we're going to do real quick, guys, folks, is we're going to take a brief commercial break here. And we'll be right back in just a moment. So I know that you're still live, Mr. Matias. So you'll be able to talk to your folks. And we'll be right back in just a few seconds, folks. Thanks for tuning in to the GoldBricks Show. And we'll be right back with you in just a moment. Thank you.
The next step into a golden success story is done. June 2018, Carrot Coin Bank, the licensed bank and the world's first cryptocurrency bank, is established in Miami with 100 million US dollar share capital. July 2018, mobile app to manage the gold-covered payment system is created. August 2018, gold mine in Madagascar providing gold reserves of 1.1 billion US dollars is bought. September 2018, the first deposit of 135 kilograms pure gold is laid down. October 2018, the Carrot Gold Coin cryptocurrency exchange to be opened. December 2018, listing of coin on more major exchanges such as CoinSuper and HitBTC. Number of acceptance partners to be increased over 540,000. By 2020, market capitalization will reach $500 million. Only a few months have passed since the ICO was completed. Development rates and perspectives are quite impressive, aren't they? Carrot Gold Coin ICO is perfectly completed now, which confirms the fact that nothing is as reliable and prosperity guaranteed as gold. Congratulations to all ICO participants, and thank you for your trust. Carrot Gold Coin ICO has raised over $100 million, becoming one of the largest in the history. We went further. We created our own app wallet, so you can send and receive Ethereum and KBC tokens instantly with anyone in the world. In case you've missed the chance to take part in the ICO, feel free to join our success story by purchasing KBC on major exchanges. We don't dream the future. We create our future already now.
All right. Everybody, welcome back to the GoldBricks Show. I'm, again, your host, Dr. Sergio Razel, along with host Yassim Ahmed. And we are speaking to a tremendous leader, again, Mr. Isaac Matias, out of Cape Town, South Africa, by way of Angola. And so we're a pleasure to have you on our show today, sir. And we've been talking about overcoming excuses. We've been talking about sunny days when folks look at it as rainy days economically. And we're also going to, we talked about leaving a legacy. Mm-hmm. But what I'd like to do is, talk to you about what people can start doing today so that they can start to change their income for what they're having today. It's great, as we know, to save and to put stuff away for our future. What is exciting about what we're doing today for the person that says, listen, I hear what you guys are saying. That's great for my great-great-grandkids, but I need to get to the point where I have an abundance of food in my refrigerator too today. So, Mr. Matias, please share with us, you came from humble beginnings to now you're thriving. You're very, very successful and your family's reaping the benefits. Talk to us a little bit today about what people need to do today.
Well, I think what people need to do today or to have today is just a mindset. Everything falls back on look, I'm 30 plus years. That means that if I wasn't well educated when it comes to finance, it probably would take about 30 plus years for me to change my mindset. But with a lot of information that you can actually get online and hang out with people who are successful, that's what you need. I mean, right now, I don't really have friends because a lot of my friends that I had, they actually have excluded themselves away from me because I spoke to them about carrot bars, and then I had to drive with those that said yes and leave those that said no, and run my course where I didn't really have time for. Right now I don't have time for people that just want to hang out with me. It's kind of difficult. So I have a new atmosphere of friendship, of people that I hang out with, people that I can learn from, people that can learn from me, and then so that we can create a new future, create a new element of thinking. We need to open our ears and eyes and make sure that we know what is going on in the world, especially where finance is concerned. Look, people wake up Monday to Monday, they go to a job, not even knowing why they wake up and go to a job. They think that's just the norm and that's what they're supposed to do. And the world is so open right now that you can be anywhere in the world and make money. I did a live stream with about my business partner who is in France, actually left South Africa not so long ago, and he went to France. And I told him, brother, you have registered, you are a VIP, and you are not moving with your business. What's going on? And as he was giving me some excuse, no, I'm not settled yet, and blah, blah. And I told him, look, when I was flying from South Africa to Atlanta, I made money while I was in the air. I made money while I was in the air.
That's right.
And actually, I could connect myself onto the Wi-Fi of the airplane, and I could speak to some of my business partners while I was in the air. You just have no excuses, or you have decided to die poor and to be forgotten the minute people leave the cemetery after you were there.
Ooh. Wow.
That's right. That's right.
Absolutely right. So basically, folks need to change the mindset. You know,
Absolutely.
we have to change our associations. We say all the time that, you know, your income is the average of your 5 closest friends. We also say that if, you know, look around, if 9 of your friends are broke or have a broke mindset, you're bound to be the 10th. So it absolutely starts with a mindset. But so once you get the mindset, you know, folks always say, you know, well, knowledge is power. And then people say, well, applied knowledge is power. But what they have to understand is the root of applied knowledge is getting the knowledge. And when your mind changes, when your mastermind changes, when your mind changes, then you will change your activities. You'll do the applied knowledge. Right. And the only way to do that and to combat what is right in our faces, you know, to combat the conditioning that we've received, the negative conditioning, the poverty mindset, the broke mindset, not understanding what assets are, thinking that these fake paper assets are truly assets when they're not. Only way to change that is, again, to change your associations, as you said, you know, to either change the people you're around or change the people you're around. So all you can do is you can lead a horse to water. You can't make them drink, but I tell you what, you give them a little salt, that horse will start to drink. So you give them a little salt, you know, teach them some things, you know, share with them the books. You know, we work on our mindset through our associations, through the people we know. And like you said, you know, being around, you know, reading and listening to people that have achieved what you want to achieve. So that's absolutely great. And the thing that I love about Carrot Bars International is that we have a platform that allows anybody, anywhere in the world, 18 years of age and older, if they live somewhere, they can participate with us. And it's you know, from a person like yourself who had nothing, you know, to be able to start something. And this was just a few short years ago. What was it, 2015? that you got started with Carrot Bars?
Let's say 2016 because it was November 2015. So I just sat in the presentation learning how to crack the code, and once I have learned that, then I started doing presentations myself, and off I went.
Yeah, absolutely. And as a result, you've been able to help, I think you said a little under 20,000 folks worldwide. Is that correct?
No, 8,000.
8,000, okay, 8,000, which is huge.
Right.
8,000 folks
That's
worldwide.
That's right.
And
Right.
and that's just a tremendous accomplishment. I mean, we'd have to agree that that's huge.
That's a huge accomplishment.
That's a huge
There's no doubt
accomplishment.
about it.
And then you are you're the ambassador for the entire company for the whole country of South Africa. I mean, you hosted the world tour in South Africa. Can you tell us a little bit about that, sir?
The world tour in South Africa was so great. I mean, just to even see Miss Tammy Morrison to come to South Africa, we call her Mama Africa.
Yeah, Mama Africa.
Mama Africa.
Mama Africa, yeah. It was wonderful. Mr. Dirk is doing such a great job.
That's right.
And we have to give it up for that man. And,
Yes.
they did an awesome job. And I mean, I think we were more, just under 2,500 people that attended the event in Johannesburg. And from there, I promise you, and that's why Mr. Delco and Mr. Tybes, they always speak about bring your people to the event, because any leader, anybody who brought somebody there, their life was never the same again. And guess what happened to those that brought them? Their income went straight to the sky.
Absolutely.
And and we need to also highlight that this is the only company that we don't get paid because people spend money. We get paid because people save money.
Will you say that again? Please say that again. Please say that again.
This is the company where we don't get paid because somebody spent money.
Mm-hmm.
We get paid because somebody saves money.
Yes.
That is the difference between every other company that is out there. What Mr. Harold has put together, nobody has put that together, and nobody will ever put that together.
That's right.
I mean, we have the 360 degree of the finance. You know, if you want fiat currency, we'll pay you in euros on your private MasterCard. You want cryptocurrency, we give you the KCB and KBC. You want gold, we have our own gold mine. You cannot get any better than this.
You can't.
No, you cannot. You want it.
True wealth building.
And what we put up here on the show is this book. If you want to get into the mind of Harold Seitz in terms of what he understands, this is the book that you want to get. This is the book you want to get. You want to read that book, and you'll understand a lot about the man and his whole idea and concept and approach toward money, the new money, taking us back to a historical, thousands of years old money, real money, and bringing it forward with the latest of technology, with blockchain, with the cryptocurrency and what have you, gold-backed. And now the world's first truly licensed crypto bank, and with our own blockchain phone that is due to be released in the not too distant future. So there's so much going on that that really is changing the way people will look at money, the way people will look at doing business, trade and commerce. And it also puts individuals, families, companies in true control of their wealth, as opposed to being controlled by the financial institutions and conglomerates.
Absolutely. So right now, I wanted to see if we had any we're going to take a look while you guys are talking. I'm going to take a look to see if we have anything here on Facebook, if there are any comments, if there's anybody that has a question. And then we're going to see if we can get those questions answered from you, Mr. Matias. So in the meantime, we'll continue to have this conversation.
Right.
So please, go right ahead. I just wanted the viewers to know what we're doing here. So you can always, of course, call in at 301-429-9247, 301-429-9247. Call into the GoldBricks Show for any questions that you may have for Mr. Matias. So we're going to continue on, and I'd like to see if we can spend a little time talking about what the process looks like. And if you could, Mr. Ahmed, just share a little with the people how they can get involved and how it works for them.
Right. Well, one of the ways, in terms of anyone out there who has would like to get involved, just remember you can go to thegoldbricksshow.com and thegoldbricksshow.com, and you can get see a video as well as sign up for your free account. But the way you get involved is, that's the first thing. Sign up for your free account, and then after that, plug in, as we like to say. One, we have meetings, what we call private gold receptions. We actually have one coming up here on the, what is it?
Well, every Monday we have a live meeting. Every Monday we have a live meeting here in the Waldorf area. So you can get back with the person that invited you to look at the stream, and we'll be able to point you in the right direction for that. And it looks like we have a caller on line 1. So, Mr. Matias, are you still there? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, sir. Can you hear me? All right, we have the technology here.
Yes,
All right, excellent. So we're going to go ahead and on to line 1.
I can hear.
Excellent.
You're on the GoldBricks Show. How can I help you? Question or comment?
It's a comment. I just wanted to thank Isaac for all of the
Caller,
Caller, are you on?
caller, can you mute your caller? Caller, can you mute your phone?
Mr. Matias, we had a little feedback here.
We're getting feedback. I'll put you back on speaker. Okay. Go right ahead.
Go ahead and hang it up.
Go ahead with your question or comment.
Okay, I just wanted to make a comment about Mr. Matias and thank him. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, we're having a little bit of feedback here. So, caller, if you could call back in, we'd love to take your call. Maybe we can take the volume down, and we'll take the volume down on our side, and we'll also do that. But the caller was calling in, and she wanted to thank you, Mr. Matias, for joining us. That was the comment that she had for us. So I want to make sure that you know. Hold on just a second. Want to make sure that you know that we really do appreciate you here. See, listen, guys, you can be successful in Carrot Bars without even understanding how to work calls that people call in for you. This is all. Listen, you don't have to be a technical genius in order to have successful organizations and be successful in this business.
We apologize, caller. There was some feedback. I understand you were muted on your side, but somewhere in this, it was some feedback, and we apologize. Please feel free to call in.
Please
again.
call back in. I'm going to look on Facebook to see if I can come up with some questions. But you two go ahead. Please continue with the discussion. And Mr. Matias, so, listen, guys, we are, again, anybody can do this business. You don't have to be a genius, as you can see. We're average, ordinary people. But we understand, we do understand when something makes sense, that it makes dollars as well. So I'm going to go ahead and pass the call back,
Right.
not the call, but the meeting back over to my partner, Mr.
I'm going to ask Isaac. Recently, let's see, there were 2 other countries in Africa that came on board. I believe that was Lesotho and Swaziland.
That's right, Lesotho and Swaziland. Swaziland is fully operational, but there's still some paperwork that we are working on for Lesotho to be officially open. But both basically are already open.
Okay, all right, good.
Right.
And so it's spreading. Now, one of the other things, the question is, what is the benefit for those countries to come on, for any country for that matter, particularly as rather Harold Seitz had mentioned, a CEO of Carabal's International, is that dear to his heart is Africa, and helping the Africans. And that is dear to all of our hearts, particularly those of us who have an affinity with Africa, who have a desire to help poor countries and third world countries, or countries that haven't really been handed the short end of the stick. At this point, countries like Lesotho, Swaziland, and other than them in Africa, what is the projected benefit of them coming on board?
That's what I said, I think, right at the beginning, that whoever invented network marketing, he actually had Africa in his
Yes.
heart.
Yeah.
The simple fact that I can be in Africa and earn in Europe. I mean, forget about anything else. Well, primarily the company or the system has been put together for us to acquire gold. And you guys know what happened in Zimbabwe. Overnight, the economy collapsed. In my home country, in my lifetime, it happened about 5 or 6 or 7 times, where you wake up in the morning, your mom give you money to go buy bread, and you come to the market, they say, we no longer accept this money. And you try to go to the bank and say, hey, the same money you guys gave me, I'm bringing it to you, because now the people in the street, they are saying that they don't take it anymore. The bank will tell you, look, you should have had your money in the bank, and therefore we are not going to take this.
I think we got a little bit of a freeze here.
This system to have.
Okay. That's fine. We
Hear me?
you
All right,
just
so
came.
Africa, number one.
We're having a little bit of technical difficulties. You're kind of coming in and out, but we got the gist. We got the gist of what was being said.
Okay,
Correct? Go ahead.
Yeah. So it's until this coming is buffering a little bit. So hopefully, Mr. Matias will be back with us in just a second. But the point is this: is that as we come to a close of today's show, one of the things we want to do is for everyone to understand that this system is not only easy to be part of, and as Isaac said earlier, it's easy to join, but it's not an easy system. It just doesn't happen. That you have to put in some work, right? You have to put in some work, and you have to understand that this is a system that is made for the average person to get in, to take advantage of the wealth that they have, and to create a residual income and create a legacy of wealth.
Okay. I went online here to Facebook. Thank goodness for technology. Can't live with it. Can't live without it. So, Mr. Matias, got a couple of questions on here for you. So we have one question says, Mr. Matias, what is your number one best practice for lead generation? Can you hear us? Oh, we're buffering.
Can you guys hear me?
Now we can, loud and clear. Go right ahead.
Okay, what was the question?
The question was, what is your number one best practice for lead generation?
Look, I think right now I am in the perfect system that me living, a legacy, for an example, it doesn't really take any of my time anymore, because I'm already on autopilot. I'm creating wealth on autopilot, saving in gold, selling a lot of people, and making a lot of money. That is the math. And that's why we encourage everybody actually to get into care force, because you will eventually get on the automatic or on the autopilot system where all you do, you save in gold, you tell a lot of people, you make a lot of money. And so the legacy is left. And this for me is my number one way to build wealth, and I just know that I don't think there will be anything else in the future.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, have another question for you, and that is, well, one person asked, can they still buy KBC? Yes, you can still buy KBC. You just go to the coin exchange. We're on Coin Super, hit BTC, and some others out there. You can still get that. But in order to get our utility coin, KCB, which is the one that backs the bank, our Carrot Bank, and everything else that comes through Carrot Bank, the gold mine included, is you have to become a part of Carrot Bars, and you can do that by getting in touch with whatever affiliate got in touch with you to tell you about this stream. Of course, you can also go, if you don't have person, you can talk to Mr. Matias, you can talk to Mr. Ahmad or myself, or you could even go to the GoldBricksShow.com, and you can get started there as well. All right, next question we have is, do you have or do you prefer online webinars, meetings, etc.? And would you be happy to share with the folks how we're able to reach, thousands of people on a daily basis worldwide?
I think you should use both. Okay, in your city, you obviously will rather get that belly-to-belly presentation where you actually go to people and speak to them. You can do a presentation right there, or you can go online as well. Actually, online, look, 90% of my business partner, I got them on Facebook. Can you believe that?
I believe it. I believe it.
They say you speak to 1,000, 11 of them will make you millionaires. I found my 11 on Facebook. 99% of my business partner, we don't know each other from anywhere. I mean, I just signed up a lady who flew all the way from Kenya to South Africa on Friday evening, and on Thursday evening, and we had a meeting yesterday on Friday, all the way from Kenya. She is a flight attendant of Emirates flight line, and she got in touch with me. I got in touch with her. That was on Facebook.
On Facebook. So
right.
That
So you should actually use both. Use both. Invite a lot of new people on your Facebook page and send them a video, a link, or be friends with them and speak to them about it. And they tell you yes, they are in. They tell you no, they are out. They are the losers. However, in your area as well, so you will get your business card, you'll print some business card, and you will do that belly to belly, contact. So both are crucial. Both are crucial. And obviously, if you have planted your seed internationally, then you will have to make time for you to have webinars as well.
Absolutely. And I'd like to say the same for me. Most people on my team have come internationally, and the beauty of it is that we have a secret here. Facebook doesn't know that we're doing all this, making all this money. So let's make sure that we have fun, that we utilize the tools that are out here. It's there for you to use. You're already on here on Facebook anyway. Why not turn that into your own personal ATM? Speaking of which, we of course have ATMs coming out with Carrot Bars, and we're going to be unveiling our cryptocurrency, the first Carrot Bars ATM down in our bank, down at Carrot Bank, our Carrot Bars Bank, our Carrot Bank down in Miami, Florida, coming up at our world tour in Miami. But yes, absolutely, use all the tools, guys. You have friends and family who are familiar with what you do. You got to let them know that you're doing it. You tell them what's going on. It's as simple as just simply pointing them to a video or a webinar or this kind of interview that we're having now, and then they can get information and get started. It's really not hard. The hardest part is that because it's easy to do, it's also easy not to do. And so that's what because again, it's your mindset. So what we do is very simple. It's probably the easiest thing I've ever done in my life, but that's because I've always been working on my mindset, and I have such great mentors in business and in this particular industry, which is an e-commerce company, just like Amazon, Uber. We could go on and on. All these Airbnb, etc. It's just wonderful. But we have the referral the referral part of the business, just like these other companies, just like Amazon and what else. So I'm gonna say that and then pass the meeting over to Mr. Ahmad.
Yeah, before we close out here, one final question. I had someone just ask, how do I get my free account? Isn't that's the question we always want to hear, because we want people to hear the information and then be motivated, move toward getting involved, and then because the information is clear, all your questions can be answered. And again, as I said earlier, go to thegoldbrickshow.com and you'll see a short video, and you'll also have an opportunity to leave your information, and we can get back to you and have you sign up with your free account. But the thing is that let's get it started. And as Isaac said earlier, don't make excuses. You know, a lot of people, it's easy to make excuses. I see people who say and I do a lot of Facebook as well in terms of recruiting people, and they'll say, well, I don't have the time. But when you go to their page and look, they're wasting so much time doing a lot of things which are not income producing activities. And then here we offering a program that gives them a free account, websites, and millions of dollars of software and other tools at their disposal, and all they have to do is work the system and get paid. Is that right? Save gold, tell a lot of people, make a lot of money. And that's the system. So we want to say in closing, we want to thank
you. That's the system. That's the system. And just to go back to Dr. Rose, you said that this is the easiest thing that you have ever done. Yes. And yes, because if, let's say you are a medical doctor, you are still on what we call active income. You don't go to work to cut somebody's belly. You are not going to get paid. And here you're talking to a young man who has no college, who has no university degree, making good money using the one word, which is very important, leverage.
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 You as a doctor, you can't use leverage unless you are the owner of the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and one of my business partners say, Isaac, I have studied and I'm still studying as a financial advisor, and he was already working in one of the South African top company when it comes to finance, and he said, look, what you have done since 2016 until now, you have already 8,000 people in your team. You are already earning way past me, and guess what? I will be working for this company. I don't even think that I will be earning the type of money that you are earning.
That's absolutely right. You know.
Right? And I say you're right because you don't have what we call leverage.
That's right.
It's just you. And guess what? If you just call in to say that you are sick, you are not getting paid. I get paid whether I am on the ground or I am in the air flying to Miami.
I've made more money sleeping than I've ever made out here doing work, and that's a fact. Listen, Mr. Matias, I thank you again so much for joining us all the way from South Africa and pushing through these technical difficulties we had. Sir, you are truly an inspiration to so many people around the world. I have a lot of respect for you, and I think I can speak on behalf of all of our viewers and, of course, all of the team here at Karatbars International, and, of course, Mr. Ahmad. When I say to you, you know, we salute you, sir, and we thank you, and you are definitely a prize and a gift to us, and we're so happy that you decided to join us on the show today, sir.
We look forward to having you the next time without such technical difficulties.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have you back on. Now, and to our viewers, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Please do.
Thank you.
What an honor to be with you guys. And I mean, now I'm saying that I am on the same WhatsApp with you guys. You know, and so thank you so much for having me and everybody. Man, if you have heard about Karatbars or me, this gentleman, you've got to get back to them, and they will take you to the moon and probably never can get you back. You will stay in the moon, which is better.
Absolutely.
And thank you again.
So, and in closing, guys, we want to say thank you for tuning in to the GoldBricks Show as well. On behalf of Mr. Ahmad and myself, we hope that you come back again next week. We're going to have a special guest next week. It's going to be a surprise. We'll let you guys know. But we're going to have a special guest for you next week as well. And I can't tell you how thrilled we are that you came on the show. If you need to reach out to Brother Mr. Matias, please feel free to do so, or Mr. Ahmad or myself on our Facebook pages, or whoever, this is very important, whoever invited you to this stream, to watch this stream, please get back in touch with them. And if all else fails, you can always go to the GoldBricksShow.com. We'd be happy to help you and assist you with there. Success is voluntary, and you deserve it. Keep soaring.
Thank you very much, everyone. For
See you next week.
Same time, same place.